We've heard about extending our lifespan for years now. Thanks to science fiction movies, we dream of pills or procedures that can help us live longer. However, nature has already given us the tools we need to live a long life. It's all about knowing where to look. At the end of every chromosome in our cells lies a small region of genetic material called a telomere. It turns out these telomeres might hold the secrets to not only how long we live, but also how healthy we are as we age. So what exactly are telomeres and how do they work? In this video, we'll explain what telomeres are, why they are important, and whether there are ways to improve your health and lifespan simply by maintaining longer telomeres. Hey there, welcome to my channel. Let's take a deep dive into telomeres. To understand what telomeres are and why they're important, let's first break down the word itself. The term telomere comes from two Greek words, telos meaning end and meros meaning part. Together, they form a term that describes a structure found at the end of our chromosomes. Chromosomes carry our genetic information in the form of DNA, and in order to properly function, they need to be protected. Telomeres serve this purpose by protecting the ends of our chromosomes from damage. They're made up of repeating sequences of DNA that don't code for any particular trait, which is why they were long thought to be junk DNA. However, this is not the case. These regions of DNA actually play a critical role in maintaining the gene stability. Without telomeres, the ends of our chromosomes would unravel, leading to the loss of genetic information. This could cause major problems for the cell and contribute to aging and diseases like cancer. Here's how telomeres work. Each time a cell divides, its chromosomes must replicate so that each daughter cell receives a full set. However, due to the way DNA replication works, the ends of the chromosomes are not fully copied. Over time, this leads to the shortening of the telomeres. As the telomeres get shorter, the cells start to age, and eventually they can no longer divide, leading to the death of the organism. The length of a telomere can vary depending on several factors such as genetics, age, and lifestyle. In humans, telomeres are typically 5 to 10 kilobases long at birth. They shorten by about 20 to 40 base pairs per year throughout adulthood. When the telomeres become too short, the cells stop dividing and the body ages. Now that we know what telomeres are and how they work, let's talk about how their length relates to our lifespan. In the early 1990s, scientists discovered an enzyme called telomerase that can maintain telomere length. This discovery led to the development of the telomere length hypothesis of aging. This hypothesis states that the length of our telomeres is directly related to our lifespan. In other words, the longer the telomeres, the longer we live. There is evidence to support this hypothesis. For example, mice with longer telomeres tend to live longer than those with shorter telomeres. Similarly, humans with longer telomeres tend to have a lower risk of age-related diseases and conditions. One study found that people with longer telomeres have a lower risk of developing cardiovascular disease. Another study found that people with longer telomeres are less likely to develop dementia. However, it's not all about the length of our telomeres. The activity of our telomerase enzyme also plays a crucial role in determining our lifespan. The level of telomerase activity in our cells declines as we age. This decline in activity leads to shorter telomeres and increased risk of age-related diseases. It's important to note that while telomere length and activity are associated with aging and disease, they are not the only factors that determine our lifespan. Our lifestyle, environment, and genetics also play a significant role. The question then becomes, can we manipulate our telomeres to increase our lifespan? One approach to increasing lifespan is through telomere therapy. This involves the use of drugs or gene therapy to activate telomerase and lengthen telomeres. While this approach has shown promise in animal studies, it is still in the experimental stages and has not yet been proven safe or effective in humans. Another approach is to reduce the rate of telomere shortening. Several studies have found that lifestyle factors such as diet and exercise can affect telomere length. For example, a study published in the journal Aging found that regular exercise can help maintain telomere length. Another study found that a diet rich in antioxidants can also help preserve telomere length. It's also worth noting that stress can negatively impact telomere length. Chronic stress can lead to shorter telomeres, which can increase the risk of age-related diseases. Therefore, managing stress through techniques like meditation and yoga may help maintain telomere length and overall health. While the idea of extending our lifespan through telomere manipulation is fascinating, it's important to consider the ethical implications as well. For example, what would be the impact on society of a population that lives much longer? Would it exacerbate existing social and economic inequalities? These are complex questions that require careful consideration. So what does the future hold for telomere research? Scientists continue to make new discoveries about the role of telomeres in aging and disease. For example, recent studies have found that telomere length may be associated with the risk of developing certain types of cancer. This suggests that telomeres may play a role in the development of age-related diseases. As research progresses, we may find new ways to target telomeres for therapeutic benefit. For example, researchers are exploring the use of telomere-based therapies for age-related diseases such as Alzheimer's disease and osteoarthritis. Now we come to a very important question. Does having longer telomeres necessarily mean a longer life? The answer, as with many things in biology, is not straightforward. There is evidence to suggest that longer telomeres may be associated with a longer lifespan, but it's not a simple cause and effect relationship. For example, one study found that individuals with longer telomeres have a lower risk of age-related diseases, which could contribute to a longer lifespan. However, longer telomeres are also associated with an increased risk of cancer. Cancer cells often have longer telomeres than normal cells, and this contributes to their immortality. Therefore, while longer telomeres may be associated with a longer lifespan, they may also increase the risk of dying from cancer. Moreover, telomere length is just one of many factors that influence lifespan. Our lifestyle, environment, and genetics also play a significant role. To sum up, the relationship between telomere length and lifespan is complex and not fully understood. While longer telomeres may be associated with a longer lifespan, it's not a simple cause and effect relationship, and there is more research needed to fully understand the role of telomeres in aging and disease. Maintaining longer telomeres may be beneficial for overall health, but it should be done in the context of a healthy lifestyle that includes a balanced diet, regular exercise, and stress management. In conclusion, telomeres are essential for maintaining the health and stability of our chromosomes. They play a vital role in preventing age-related diseases and ensuring proper cell division. While research has shown that telomere length is associated with aging and disease, it's not the only factor that determines our lifespan. By adopting a healthy lifestyle and managing stress, we can help maintain telomere length and reduce the risk of age-related diseases. As research continues to advance, we may find new ways to harness the power of telomeres for therapeutic benefit. Thank you for joining me on this journey to understand the science behind aging and longevity. Remember to stay curious and keep asking questions. Until next time, stay healthy and keep exploring the amazing world of science.